Hey guys, welcome to CM Rankings and Reviews, and I'm starting a new segment called Movie Talks where I talk about movies, and today we have 3 topics to talk about, and let's get into the first one. So the first one is Morbius MCU canon or not? And when I saw the trailer, the first thing I thought was, it's probably in the MCU, right? Well, as I did a little more research, I realized it really wasn't, because so in the Venom trailer, at the beginning when it's like saying Sony and Marvel, it says in association with Marvel, and it's the exact same logo in the Morbius trailer. And we all know that Venom is not in the MCU. If you didn't know that, well, now you know. So just because Michael Keaton is in never mind. So with the Sony deal, we know that like Kevin Feige had to make some deals with Sony, but I don't think one of it was that Sony can just like make their own movies, because Sony's definitely trying to just backdoor this into the MCU, and I don't think Kevin Feige's really gonna let that happen. So yeah, like I said, there's no, other than the Vulture and the murderer written on the brick wall, there's not really anything else that says it's really in the MCU. If you look at the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, there's a bunch of stuff that pointed to it being in the MCU. And Kevin Feige himself even said, well, Spider-Man is like the only character that can cross universes. So what does that mean? Well, it means that just because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in a different, like a Sony universe of Marvel characters movie, doesn't mean it's an MCU movie. It's a different universe that Tom Holland's Spider-Man can just, like, it can go from the MCU to the SUMC. But what I think is, once they kind of end the MCU story for Spider-Man, I don't think they would, I think that's when they'll put him in the SUMC movies, the Sony Universe of Marvel characters. So no, I don't think Morbius is in the MCU. It hasn't been confirmed nor denied that it is. But anyway, let's get on to topic number 2. The Black Widow special look. My thoughts on it. So I was really excited because I knew that like the second or special look was coming that day, and when I finally saw it, I was a bit disappointed, but I also wasn't, because we get a lot more Taskmaster stuff. So I was really happy to see more of Taskmaster and more of pretty much every character that was introduced in that. And there's really not much to talk about this, except for Taskmaster is not Hawkeye. Just putting that out there. I don't think Taskmaster is Hawkeye or even will be in the movie. The special look gave us more of a story, kind of, to wrap our minds around. But I also think that in the second official trailer, I think they could do a little more. It definitely feels like a James Bond type story and feel of the movie. And surprisingly, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross was not in this, but we'll talk about him more later. So my thoughts on the trailer was, it was a good, special look. It was okay. It was definitely good. It wasn't really exactly as good as the first, because the first, nobody really knew anything about it or what was going to happen. But then the second one, it showed a lot of extended scenes and a couple new scenes, but I think it could do more. Okay, moving on to our third and final topic of today. The 2 leaked Black Widow post-credits and end-credits scene. So, do I think these are true? Yes, there's a pretty high possibility that these are true. And this person leaked them and like didn't listen to Marvel and just put it out there. And his thoughts on the movie were like, it was good. It was actually a really good movie, but the worst part was that David Harbour's character, I forgot, Red Guardian, was too cheesy, and his death definitely seemed welcome at the end. So that's another thing that was leaked. But let's get to the post-credit scenes. So the first one was where he said that Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, so it's pretty much like he was like setting up the Thunderbolts with Yelena Belova and Taskmaster, and I'm really excited to see that scene because I want a Thunderbolts movie. I want at least a trilogy of Thunderbolts movies because I love William Hurt's character, and I just want to see more of them. I do not want a Disney Plus show. I don't think Disney Plus will, like the Marvel shows, will keep going that much longer. Just because I feel like superhero fatigue would definitely kick in because like every weekend you have some more Marvel Studios content to digest, and I would way rather have a movie or trilogy than a series. That's setting up the Thunderbolts, definitely is, if it's true. And yeah, and then the end credit scene was said to have Hawkeye and his kids by Natasha's grave. Now, I really want this to be true because I want Hawkeye to make at least a cameo appearance, because why wouldn't he? He's really important to Natasha's story. I hope that's not his only, I hope there's like a flashback either at the beginning or during the movie. I really do not want that to be like his only part if it's true. So again, going back to that, so Natasha does really need some recognition for her death in Endgame. Tony Stark got a whole funeral, and she did not. So this is kind of going to be kind of good for what happened to her in Endgame. And I just wish that they made a little more time for people to, they only really had 3 minutes for the heroes to gripe and groan about her death. Otherwise, that was just, they focused more on Tony Stark's death, which I kind of want. Natasha's death was, without that, Tony wouldn't have died, and the universe wouldn't have been saved. So I'm glad that they're paying attention to that and giving her kind of a funeral, but not really. So yeah, and there's my movie talk. Please subscribe, leave a comment. See ya.